Hey, how's everybody doing? I am Jeremy Langlois. This is my friend, partner in crime, Taylor Francis in the house. So happy to have all y'all here today. Now, you are my partner in crime. You're like, if I'm Batman, you're Robin.
All right.
Yep, I'm Han Solo, naturally. You're Chewbacca.
Okay.
You never even seen a Star Wars movie, have you? Oh, anyway, guys, welcome to the stream. You know, we're having so much fun doing all the cooking. And as we started to discuss what we wanted to do for this week, you know, we didn't want to miss the opportunity, Taylor, to just feature something that we've just had so much of in the property. So right now in Louisiana, it's hot, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's real hot, especially in the kitchen. Especially in the kitchen.
Yes.
Like I tell you, free sauna memberships for anybody who works here in the kitchen. It's hot, but we're in the heart of tomato season, guys. And I mean, I just want to show you this platter right here. These are every single one of the tomatoes that you see here on this platter. I picked yesterday. And these are all different varieties of tomatoes that are growing here at Houmas House. And we're just in the heart of tomato season. We probably only have about a week or two left of tomato season. So I wanted to just really do a dish that really features these tomatoes and something that we could use to just highlight them. And then I thought, well, you know what, let's go ahead and also, you know, as we do these demos, I like to always kind of have a theme. And the theme for this one is just showing how using really great fresh ingredients is sometimes all you need to make a great dish. And I think a dish that perfectly exemplifies that is just a classic caprese salad. You know, caprese, we used to even make some homemade mozzarella on the property and then we serve them with tomatoes. So what I like about this dish is to make a caprese salad, all you need is a few ingredients. Tomatoes, basil, mozzarella cheese, some olive oil and salt and pepper, and bam, you got all the ingredients to make a caprese salad. But I think one thing that we would like to do is we like to highlight just a couple things that we can add to it, not too much, because what we want this dish to be is just a showcase of freshness and just very simple. This is something we can all do, right?
Yep.
Even me. Even me.
You.
So first of all, just let's get started. What we are going to do is, Taylor, you know, about a couple things about tomatoes. One thing you never want to do when you have these beautiful homegrown tomatoes is you never want to put them in the refrigerator. Yeah, if you put them in they're always best to just eat at room temperature. I find if you eat them when they're cold or they're chilled, that they don't have the same flavor. You really get a taste of, you really taste the flavor of the tomato whenever it's room temperature, right? So look, Taylor, why don't you go ahead and just start slicing some of those tomatoes and put them on. And you know, tomatoes are one of those things when you go to the grocery store, guys, and you buy tomatoes, well, those tomatoes were crossbred to be able to, they're called, some of them are even called cardboard tomatoes, and that means they pick them green, they put them in a cardboard box, they ship them to grocery stores, and they're aged to last a long time. They're not going to go bad as soon as these. These, when they're ripe, you want to use them at the peak of their perfection when they're ripe and just slightly soft. So that's exactly what we're going to do here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use some, we're going to do something to our olive oil, and we're also going to make a little balsamic syrup. So it's super simple. I got 1 cup of balsamic vinegar. And I'm going to add a little bit of sugar. So that's a cup of balsamic vinegar and a half a cup of sugar. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to whisk that in. And I'm going to allow that to start to come up to a boil and start to reduce. And what's going to happen is, whenever you boil any kind of liquid, say whether it's water or balsamic vinegar when you first put in, I always like to describe the bubbles. When it comes up to a boil, you're going to see a lot of rapid, little tiny bubbles that are going to start to form on the top, and that's what we're looking for. And as this starts to reduce, the vinegar and the sugar is going to cause this to thicken, and the bubbles will actually start to get a little bit bigger. You'll see bigger, slower bubbles, and that's what we're looking for. We're looking for this to start to reduce and get thick. And what we're going to do, come the end of this, because it's not going to take long, you always hear the saying, coats the back of a spoon. Well, we're going to stick a spoon in there. Right now you see it doesn't coat it. We're going to see that coats the back of the spoon. So we have some tomatoes and some room temperature tomatoes and the balsamic, meaning the buffalo mozzarella. We got our balsamic starting to reduce. Taylor's going to tell us, oftentimes you'll see us using this herb oil. And we've even had in the comments of some of our videos saying, how do you make the herb oil? Well, we're going to make it right now, and we're so glad you do that. Continue, ask all the questions. We love interacting with y'all. Taylor, why don't you tell them how we make our herb oil here at Houmas House?
what we're going to do is we're going to have some herbs. We have oregano, parsley, and basil. We're going to add these. For the basil, they got this thick stem, so they're kind of tough, so you always want to pluck off the basil. Parsley, you could throw that in there without doing that. So we're going to pluck all these off. We're going to add the oregano.
So basically what you're saying is if the stems are too woody or fibrous, don't put them in. But if they're soft like a parsley stem, it's fine because you're just going to get more flavor and color out of it.
Yes, and we add oil, the olive oil. And you make sure you hold this down. Good pound for it.
We got that good blender here. You can blend up a little more.
Okay.
Yeah. I told her don't blend it too much. Yeah, we can definitely blend it. Now just kind of pick that up and show them what we got there, Taylor. So what we have here, guys, is this is all those herbs, and you just see we had olive oil, we blend it, and this we would normally probably blend it a little bit longer. I like to usually do it for about 30 seconds or a minute to really puree all those herbs into it. Now this right here is absolutely fine. If you're at home and you want to use this as your olive oil to drizzle on top of your salad, you are good to go. But show them what we like to do with the restaurant, just to kind of refine it a little bit.
Yeah, we like to stick it through a cheesecloth to strain it, to give it that extra strength.
Just get all them little bits out,
Yes.
and it just makes a nice fine grain oil.
Yes.
So we're going to do that. And so one thing that's really cool about Caprese salad is, again, everything here is just all about being really, really fresh. Just a little bit of history, in coming up with this dish, I was actually curious, where did Caprese salad come from? Well, Caprese salad comes from the island of Capri off of Italy, and it was started being made, early documented as the 1920s. However, in the 1950s, the island of Capri was visited by the Egyptian King Farouk. You knew that?
No.
Well, it turns out he was he ate this, and I actually think he ate it in a sandwich form, this makes a great sandwich as well. You just put this in between bread. And he just thought this was the absolute perfect light dish. Flavorful and light and not heavy. He loved it so much, he brought the recipe home and had his chefs preparing it for him. And from there, it took off worldwide. So I just thought that was kind of interesting because now you just see it everywhere. So now that we're at this point, a couple things that we want to do. We have our oil straining, we have our balsamic reducing. So now, what are we missing on here, Taylor?
Some herbs.
Yeah, well that's true. That's true. That's right, yeah. So the tomatoes themselves, and in fact this buffalo mozzarella, when you get it, well, buffalo mozzarella is great, but what it's not is seasoned. So what we want to do is, we want to come back with some kosher salt, or this would be a great time if you're one of these people at home who have your Himalayan pink salt or your black Hawaiian salt, which is something natural and fresh. That's going to pair so great with this. And then just like this is when you want to bust out your pepper shaker and put a couple cracks of that beautiful black pepper on top of these tomatoes and that cheese to really give it a baseline seasoning. Just a little salt and pepper is really going to make those tomatoes sing. So as we get that in, now we want to talk about our basil. So we got our tomatoes, our cheese. The last thing we need is our basil. So Taylor, why don't you start picking for me some of these, get off here. Pick me some of these basil leaves, and we're going to talk about chiffonading some basil. So to chiffonade, that's a fancy culinary word, but all it just means is we're going to cut an herb into thin little ribbons. And how we do that is we take and we stack the herbs. So Taylor took the leaves and we stacked them on top of each other. So now what we do is we come over to a cutting board, we roll it up nice and tight. Don't smoke. These herbs don't smoke, Taylor, just so you know. But instead of smoking them, we're going to cut them. So now it's just, we're going to delicately cut this into little ribbons. And because we had the basil rolled up nice and tight, it allows us to just get these great little ribbons that this is what we're going to sprinkle on top of here. Just really get that basil on top of it. And I mean, look, you can't go wrong. You can never go wrong. Really great fresh tomatoes, not no cardboard tomatoes at the store. Great fresh tomatoes, room temperature, so you get all the flavor. Really great fresh buffalo mozzarella, seasoned with salt and pepper. Some fresh basil and tomatoes, can't go wrong. We're going to go ahead, if you want to drizzle some of that herb oil all around, and then let's come back. So now, we want to reduce, now look, I call this black gold. This is my black gold from the Beverly Hillbillies. And what this is, now you can see it's thick enough to go to spoon. So just that quick, in about 5 minutes, we reduced it. Now, of course, if we were at home, we don't want to pour the hot balsamic on top of this. What we do at the restaurant, we let it cool. You can let it cool right in the pot. We transfer it to a squeeze bottle, and then we just kind of, this is actually my favorite part, because this, you get a little bit of sweetness, you get a little bit of tartness on this, and there you go, guys. We got us a perfect summer salad, a Caprese salad. Taylor, thanks for your help.
Thank you.
Guys out there, if you have any questions at all, please feel free, hit us up in the comments. We love that y'all share and like these videos. We love cooking with y'all. Give this salad a try at home, and we'll see y'all next week. Thank y'all.
Thank you.